Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things right through a common sense lens. And needless to say, the Lord of the Rings fandom, the franchise, and the fans have been not exactly treated so well lately by a lot of the products that have been coming out there. Obviously, we saw the abomination that was Rings of Power coming from Amazon MGM, and that has now resulted in the firing of Jennifer Sulky, and she will no longer be working at that company. And I would imagine Rings of Power probably isn't going to last past its third season. But boys and girls, for all of the Lord of the Rings fans out there that actually want some good quality content, want actually some good quality movies, want something they can see visually on the screen besides just going back and rereading all of those wonderful books over and over again, well, guess what? Because a lot of fans got very excited about the announcement of the Hunt for Gollum movie coming from Andy Serkis. Well, obviously, this is going to be a lot of people that we trust. Peter Jackson is supposed to be one of the executive producers. He's supposed to be involved in the whole process out there. And obviously, Warner Brothers, with a lot of the kind of stuff that they've been going on out there, this is something you want to see a massive win with. And the Lord of the Rings is definitely a property that they own to a certain degree. The distribution rights for a lot of that kind of stuff out there to be able to make the movies and stuff like that. So it's one of them situations where not only does Warner Brothers absolutely need a win from the Lord of the Rings franchise, but all of the fans could certainly use it as well. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Sir Ian McKellen himself, the absolute legend, has now confirmed we've got at least 2 characters that will indeed be opening up in the Hunt for Gollum. And ladies and gentlemen, we literally have the video to show him saying this exact same thing, and it is a beautiful thing to see. Now, to be fair, the headline over here does kind of spoil the big surprise, but Sir Ian McKellen confirms Gandalf and Frodo's return for the Hunt of Gollum. Now, there's an actual video involved in all of this over here that we've actually got right here, and the nice part is it's a lot of fun to see Ian McKellen announce this. And it's funny, too, because the way he acts and the way he interacts with the crowd, you can just tell he's really excited about this kind of stuff. And it's a lot of fun to see this, which I think only more confirms the fact that I cannot wait to see how this all ends up panning out, because we need some good Lord of the Rings television, Lord of the Rings movies out there, a proper representation of the great J.R.R. Tolkien's work. And this is a crew that I trust to actually deliver us that kind of thing. And I mean, the fact that we're going to get Frodo and indeed Gandalf in this movie is something that obviously a lot of fans had speculated for a long time and really wasn't a way to do the movie without them. But we now have it confirmed straight from the horse's mouth, and we're going to check out that video here in just a little bit. Before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2100. We're sitting at 2150, I believe, on our way to 22, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. What do you think about this? Are you as excited as a lot of the other Lord of the Rings fans out there about the Hunt for Gollum? Do you think it'll end up being good? Do you think Hollywood can produce a proper adaptation in the modern era of Lord of the Rings inside of that universe? Are you excited to see Andy Serkis and Ian McKellen and the rest of these guys come back? Or do you think you don't trust them at all and you're on a kind of wait-and-see situation with this? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And to support the channel, please check the links in the description as well. All right, from Comic Book Movie, Sir Ian McKellen has dropped a major update for The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, officially confirming 2 veteran cast members. Now, see, that would have been a wonderful headline to go with. In The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, Andy Serkis is pulling double duty, stepping back into the role of Gollum while also occupying the director's chair. Famed for mocap roles, Serkis' directorial credits include Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, and Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which, okay. The highly anticipated prequel is already locked in for December 17th, 2027 theatrical release, with longtime Lord of the Rings guardian Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, and Philip Boyens producing. Drawing from Tolkien's appendices, the film promises a darker psychological spin on Middle-earth, following Gandalf and Aragorn as they hunt Gollum across the land in a desperate bid to keep him from betraying the One Ring to Sauron. Alongside the chase, audiences will get an intimate dive into Gollum's fractured psyche, exploring the ceaseless tug of war between Smeagol and his darker half. And honestly, that was a lot of fun in the movies out there, right? In the greatest trilogy of all time, arguably. It's one of the situations where that was a lot of fun. Saying, no, do? And I heard it like all the back and forth. And of course, Andy Serkis just crushes at doing this kind of stuff. I mean, this guy is practically the guy who put mocap on the map as far as like the standard of how well you can do this and how you can express this character through this kind of stuff out there. So it's one of them situations where that actually makes a lot of sense. And I think that would be a lot of fun to see, because obviously you're going to see that kind of stuff going throughout, especially if it's in one of those moments where, like, you know, maybe, especially after, like, you know, all the Sauron guys has tortured him and everything else. So I like that idea, and Andy Serkis can pull it off really, really well. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Switching back and forth between those two personalities is just absolute comedy genius. And it's, or not even necessarily comedy genius, but cinematic genius. And he does it really, really well. Though unconfirmed, industry chatter suggests that heavy use of de-aging tech to present Gandalf and Aragorn at earlier points in their lives. Obviously, that makes sense. It would not be the first time that we've seen this kind of thing. Hopefully, they'll do it better than some of the stuff Disney Marvel has pulled off, or Disney Star Wars, I should say, should pull off. But needless to say, we'll have to see how all of that goes. But it's not so shocking. It's not surprising at all. How else are you going to bring back the original cast, which, of course, everybody's going to want the original cast to come back. You know what I mean? If you try to recast some of these characters, you're not going to get as much goodwill. People are going to be more suspicious of things. And so why not? Use a little de-aging tech. Totally makes sense. Over the weekend, Ian McKellen recently appeared at the For the Love of Fantasy event in London, where he confirmed his return as Gandalf while also teasing unexpected comeback of Elijah Wood's Frodo. Check out the video below. So here we are, boys and girls, straight from the horse's mouth himself. And I'll try to make sure my desktop audio is up high enough to where you guys can hear this. So here you are.
Well, I hear there's going to be another movie set in Middle-earth.
And I love it too. Yeah, obviously he had a little bit of problem getting out of the chair. Whatever, the guy's like 1,000,000 years old. I don't care. But his voice is still there. He's still right there. He's still getting up, running around. You can tell he's excited. He's curious about this. And like, I love it. I love it. For the guy his age, he's still got great energy. I think he's going to do a great job.
And it's going to start filming in May. It's going to be directed by Gollum, and it's all about Gollum.
Which obviously we know, but you can hear the fan reaction. I love the fan. The crowd is excited about this. The crowd is excited about this, and I don't blame them.
But I'll tell you two secrets about the casting.
There we are.
There's a character in the movie called Frodo.
Oh, well, obviously.
And there's another character called Gandalf.
There's like everybody else, a couple of the guys on stage are like, well, this guy's laughing. The other guy over here looks like the guy looked a little embarrassed. He was like, oh, are you going to get in trouble for this? Nah, I'm sure. Ian McKellen's at the point in his career where he can get away with whatever he wants. You know, it's like you got that old grandpa or that old uncle in your life, you know, that just says all kinds of crazy stuff. And you're like, yeah, he's just old. It's okay, whatever. Ian McKellen's at that stage in his life. He can get away with whatever he wants. What are you going to do to him? It's Sir Ian McKellen. What are you going to do to the guy? Come on.
And apart from that, my lips are sealed.
So aside from confirming that, yes, I'm going to absolutely be reprising my role in this movie, and guess what? Frodo's coming back too. Other than that, my lips are sealed. Talk about an absolute scoop, boys and girls, and I absolutely love that. That is just so wonderful, and I love Ian McKellen. I think this is going to be great. I'm excited for this. It's one of those things. I hope this ends up being really good. We'll find out with the trailers, but it's only a matter of time, and I mean, you getting the band back together, boys and girls, and in a time right now with such a drought of good quality content and good proper representation of some of our most beloved IPs out there, this is kind of the dream team you want to see come back together for something like this. So hopefully it ends up working out well. After the events of The Hobbit, Gollum became utterly obsessed with reclaiming the One Ring. While Bilbo Baggins took it from him in the depths of the Misty Mountains, his mind fractured further, consumed by rage and burning hatred for Baggins. For the first time in centuries, Gollum abandoned his cave and set out into the wider world, determined to track down the thief. His dangerous pursuit left Gandalf and Aragorn deeply concerned, as they feared Gollum's movements could ultimately reveal the ring's whereabouts to Sauron. And obviously that's something, if you watched the movies or read the books, which I'm sure all of you have if you clicked on this video, you already are well aware of that, and that eventually that did happen. Gollum's quest eventually led him to be captured by Aragorn, who delivered him to Gandalf for interrogation. He would eventually break free, only to be recaptured again, this time by Sauron's forces, who learned from Gollum that a hobbit had taken the ring, setting off the grand adventure seen in 2011's The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. So obviously that's something we all know, but this is what that time period of what this movie is supposed to be about, right? The time between the time his escape, him leaving the cave, getting captured by Aragorn, getting interrogated by Gandalf. So obviously we know these characters are going to end up coming back. And now that we know that Frodo is going to be back as well, which that could be a fascinating way to see how things pan out. What are you going to do? Are you going to, are we going to have like, Smeagol or Gollum like spying on Frodo, trying to look for him, trying to go to the Shire? I don't know. That'll be kind of interesting to see how that's going to end up working out. But obviously, it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to be very excited about. Seeing these characters come back, seeing these actors come back, and everything else. And honestly, at a time where we just all had to suffer through the absolute abomination that was Rings of Power. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is very exciting news. I think this is a great thing to see. And honestly, I hope they do this really well, because at the end of the day, the fans deserve proper adaptations. And Sir Ian McKellen is an absolute legend. And for him to come out there and announce this kind of thing at a fan of it just shows how much he appreciates the fan base. Whether this was authorized or not, I'm sure it probably was. This guy's a class act. He knows what he's doing. But at the end of the day, this is awesome news and hopefully brings more hope and hopefully a little bit more cautious optimism to the future of the Lord of the Rings franchise, especially when it comes to the movies and especially when it comes for the Hunt for Gollum. Because honestly, it sounds like this could end up being a lot of fun. This could end up being a really good time. And Andy Serkis just absolutely crushes at Gollum. So if nothing else, boys and girls, even if you're not a big fan of the story, or maybe you don't think it doesn't end up making any sense, we're going to get some great performances and some absolutely legendary actors crush it and bring us back to the Middle Earth that we all know and love. And boys and girls, at the end of the day, that's all fans want. By all means, boys and girls, I can't wait to see the Hunt for Gollum show Rings of Power exactly what Middle Earth and all of the fans actually want. Because I'd imagine if they do this right, it'll be a huge success and another embarrassment for Rings of Power. And ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm here for that. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.